Welcome back on your Neighborhood Watch, brought to you by All American Bail Bonds on AM 1220 KHTS. We're talking about real estate.
Can I ask you a question real fast?
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Sure.
Oh, boy.
Now that it's been a year that we've done the Neighborhood Watch, are we going to change the intro music, or are we still rolling
Is there an
with that?
issue, Tammy, Mike?
No,
Feel free to
No, I think it's
weigh in
totally
on our
original.
intro.
I bet
You
nobody
think
across the country
What
has
do you
ever done
associate
that.
with law enforcement if there's one song?
What did he just say? I think it's
Cop
totally
killer.
original. I mean,
Ice-T.
Tammy obviously wants to put on
Marley,
like,
perhaps?
yeah.
It's that old Johnny
I
Cash
like
song.
that one.
Yeah. Kyle can't even control himself right now. He's losing his mind.
Tammy, you don't realize about Tammy. She goes way back with the old school hip hop.
That's right.
That's a little known
NWA,
fact.
it's my posse.
Oh, boy.
Well,
Transitioning perfectly.
now that that happened,
When I was a little baby boy, I'm gonna get me a brand new toy.
Two turntables and with the mic.
We rock KHTS like the Dolomite. A
Oh,
time
I
when
like the improv. All right.
I knew some
Kyle,
days
drop
would
the
rock
beat.
the nation.
He can't believe it.
He's,
yeah.
he's sleeping on the job.
Okay. Well, if you just tuned in for that, you're welcome.
Then thank you. Keep listening, please.
You know what? I have to say one more thing. I'm full of things to say today.
You are.
What Mike said, or actually, I'm sorry, what Tammy said about talking to your neighbors when the house is
Communication
vacant.
when
That
you're-
is
when you're
something that
gone.
that we as the sheriff's department have also been putting out regarding suspicious cars, suspicious people in your neighborhood. You know what? Nobody knows your community better than the people that obviously live there. So it really it does. You know, maybe you don't like your neighbors and want to go hang out with them and have a
You
barbecue.
should at least
but,
like one, though.
But you should, you should at least like one.
make friends with one.
But you know what? It is good to get to know your neighbors, maybe exchange cell phone numbers, look out for each other and communicate with each other since you all, obviously live in the same community. So I think that was a great point.
And a little-known service that our Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station deputies provide, which I think a lot of people don't know about based on the responses, is that if you are going to be gone for a little bit, you can have security checks.
Yes.
You guys, right? You can request those. Deputies will come by, check, make sure if there is a suspicious car there, then deputies know that that person's not supposed to be there because you told them ahead of time.
Right.
And you guys will address that. Right?
And you could log on to our website, which is santaclarita.last.org, and click on e-service, which is on the left-hand side of the page, and that will take you back to the city's website where you can do a vacation request form, and then that gets emailed directly to the sheriff's station. You'll have extra patrols. The volunteers on patrol will come by. Make sure that there's nothing suspicious going on. Check your house. Make sure that there's no open doors, broken windows.
That's all the
Stuff like
cops
that.
ended up in my pool. It was a big party when I was gone.
I wasn't invited to that. Interesting.
Well, you did ask them, Mike. Can't be, if you leave the fridge open, they grab a soda. All right. No, I'm sure that doesn't happen. But talking back to what we wanted to talk about, which was the social media in the Santa Clarita Valley, we had 2 arrests that were confirmed by Sheriff's Department deputies. They happened earlier in the month, but they were now, you have to wait a little bit of time before you make an announcement in certain cases. There's ongoing investigations. So 2 teens were arrested. Hart District officials confirmed it was a Bowman High student and a Saugus High student. According to Nixle by Special Victims Bureau, the 2 students admitted to creating the CV Purge Twitter accounts and, soliciting the pictures and then posting the pictures online. And I think that, when we put out the story, even though a lot of people had known about it and a lot of people were already talking about it, I think it just, again, brings that conversation that parents should have with their kids. And we have 2 parents here. Well, 3 parents here.
3 parents there. But my
4 if we count Kyle. But
Kyle. But
Kyle's
Kyle
not
and
really
myself
posting on
have
social
younger
media.
children.
We have the real
Right.
teenagers
Yeah.
that are really living
Tammy
this.
and Mike have some teenagers, so
And
good
especially,
perspective.
Yeah, with teenagers, I'm sure the challenges are.
Well, I can tell you I'm absolutely appalled at the pictures that are sent to my boys. Starting at about age 12, they would start getting pictures from girls, unsolicited pictures. And, of course, I train them to get rid of them right away. And it's kind of scary that this happens. Am I freaking you out right now, Dubin? You got a look on your face like,
Well,
what are you saying?
That
So
never happened to me.
surprised. Yeah,
Why
me
does nobody
neither.
send me
No,
pictures?
thank God we didn't have the internet, right, back then.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to me how many of these, and we're talking some good girls that come from good families, and they just don't know what's going on. And it's really scary that these children don't know better with everything that we have out there, but the pictures do come and they are sent. And I know that these 2 boys are really taking a lot of heat for the SCV purge, but I think there's a lot of guilty parties here
Sure.
because
Agreed.
they had access to the photos.
And so much of it seems like as a parent, and again, I'm not a parent, so enlighten me, but it seems like you have to trust that your child will have that conversation, because you obviously can't monitor them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So how do
You can on social media, and that's what I definitely do. My
Okay. I was just gonna
17-year-old
ask, how do you
son,
do
yeah,
that? What do you tell
he's not
parents?
allowed to lock his phone at all, and if he does, I have the password because sometimes he likes to protect it from his younger brother. But my biggest thing that I do is I befriend all his friends. You know, he's got 20 friends in his clique, and I follow them on Twitter. You know, I'm friends with them on Instagram, on Facebook, and I watch them more than I do him, because you never know if they have multiple accounts, fake accounts, whatever. And so I can see what's going on, because his friends aren't smart enough to hide their shenanigans from me. So I can keep a close eye on them. And when they come over, we talk about it, you know, and we sit down and we say, hey, you guys, you know, your future, a lot of your future depends on your reputation. And we have little sit downs and chats. But the biggest thing is, watch their phone. It's okay as a parent to grab their phone. Don't worry about respecting their privacy. It's your job to protect them, because it could lead to some very severe, damaging incidences if it goes over, over the line, which
think
it,
that's the hardest
which
thing
it
to
does a
realize.
lot in Santa Clarita.
If you're a teen, you're not thinking, oh, what's going to happen in 5 years if I have to register as a sex offender for the rest of
Right.
my life because
Right.
I sent a picture to a friend. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And look at how serious the Instagram threat case was.
Oh, exactly.
That individual, how old was he? We arrested him within 10 to 12 hours.
It escalates pretty quickly.
And it
doesn't
escalated quickly. I posted on my Twitter, and I think you posted it also. There was a gentleman that mailed me a newspaper from Australia. I mean, that's international news of one teenager in the Santa Clarita Valley thought it was innocent enough to make these threats using a photo of Valencia High School, which wasn't even our actual Valencia High School.
Right.
And this is, making newspapers in Australia. So,
with numerous grammatical errors, I'm just going to say. So
Right.
Which you would never find on hometown station.
Exactly. We got to take a quick commercial break, but thank you for that. I want to talk a little bit more when we come back. But thank you, Tammy and Mike, for stopping by.
Thank you, guys.
Leasing and Home Smart. Check it
Thanks
out
for having
on
us.
your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, brought to you by All American Bail Bonds. Welcome back, Santa Clarita Valley. We're here on your neighborhood watch on the hometown station, brought to you by All American Bail Bonds, where we talk about all things Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station related, community outreach with our partners in Tan and Green.
yeah.
Yeah.
And puppies.
And puppies, because Kyle made a request for more puppy coverage.
I'm just saying, Perry, can you Google a story about puppies right now? There has to be something in the news about
we can bring it
puppies.
in for the last
For the
segment.
next segment.
But
We'll
Kyle,
talk
I will
about-
expect the sounder for that, some sort of wave file. Some
Right.
Sort of
Can you dig
output.
something up,
Engineer
Kyle?
that.
Because if we're going to talk a news
you
story
handle
about
your
puppies,
end,
we're going to
we'll
need
do
a
it.
sound effect with it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But back to what we were talking about, if that's okay
Right.
with Kyle, is
Yeah.
social media in the Santa Clarita Valley, conversations with parents and children, what they need to know. Josh, you've given talks numerous times in front of big groups of parents, and I was there for one of them a while back. You talked about some apps, you talked about some programs that parents should know about, and there are some websites. And if parents want more information, how do they get it? Or what do they need to know?
Well, you know what? We put out a lot of stuff on our Facebook and Twitter at the station. Anybody in the CPU is always available for a phone call to talk about different social media stuff and stuff going on. And I feel like we put out a lot of information, but I feel like we need to continue to put out information. Really, as a parent, you need to monitor what your children are doing on social media. And, now with the release of the iPhone 6, that's like a mobile laptop. That's like a full computer system in your pocket. I mean, you could basically do anything on it. So,
And the challenge, I think, for parents, it would seem, is that it keeps changing. You don't know, how do you stay on top of the latest
Right.
and greatest, what your kid's going to be using, because it's probably ahead of even what they're talking about in the media. Sometimes they know about it before we do,
Absolutely.
Sort of like Kick and that kind of thing.
right. And, I think that a good a look through your child's cell phone, if you choose to let him or her have a cell phone, I think a look through it, see what apps are on there. Kick is a new app. We had that one case that we just talked about on hometownstation.com. What was it called? Uvu or Ulu? Uvu. That was an app I've never even heard of, and it's a new app. So, and we obviously have the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Those are probably the three most popular apps right now, social media apps. But there's so much stuff going on. So what could be a simple post can go worldwide instantly, can have international attention, can really shake a community. So it's really powerful stuff.
And there's just so many ways for kids to message each other. As a parent, one of the things that you said that really struck a chord with me, and when I put it as a quote, a lot of people were commenting on it, is that the parent is the boss. The parent has to maintain that role, right? Of
Right.
Like, if you break the rules, then that phone's coming back. If
Right.
you do this, then that iPad is not yours. I paid for it, type
Right.
of situation.
Right. And, you know, some of these electronic devices, hundreds of dollars. The service, what is it, $150 a month to have a cell phone, you know, with internet access and stuff like that. So really, it's a privilege, not a right. And I think that, you know, parents need to know that. And
Do you know of any websites? I know you guys always put out information on Nixle and
there's a
on your
website that
Facebook
I
page.
like, and our ecom unit actually has talked about it before. NetSmarts. I'll find them on Twitter while we're talking here. But
And for those that don't know, the ecom unit is a special bureau of the sheriff's department that focuses solely on like electronic activity, right? That's
Right.
Stuff that's
Right.
like any sort of criminal activity that might be going on social
Right.
media online.
And so a website that we like, again, you know, we can't endorse anybody, but a website that we like that has, I think, great information on it is netsmarts.org. So NETSMARTZ.
They got the Z in there.
.org.
Okay.
Yeah, NetSmarts. And it's basically a free educational program that educates children and adults about making safer choices on social media. And they are on Twitter at NetSmarts with a Z kids, at NetSmarts kids.
Does the kids have a Z on it, or does how many
No,
Z's? Do we got? Just one Z.
the Z is in the smarts. You got that right, Kyle?
Kyle thinks that's
Okay.
hilarious. He's
Follow
checking
that
it
on
out
Twitter.
right now.
Thank you.
It's because he's playing Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Candy Crush.
Another thing we should talk about, there is a National Preparedness Month, which is September. Well, we're in National Preparedness Month. I backed into
Right.
it. But there we go. There's an expo going on today at the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center in Newhall. Is there going to be, there will be deputies there, right?
I would
looks like we
imagine
have
so.
some law enforcement officials, some fire department officials.
I think we have from our LA County Office of Emergency Management people are going to be there, and a couple other things. So that will be at the Senior Center,
2 to 4 p.m.
2 to 4 p.m. on Market Street
Right.
in Newhall,
Downtown Newhall.
downtown Newhall,
And
Old Town Newhall.
Animal care and control will be there too. It's something you might not think about in an emergency.
Oh, yeah.
What's your
Good
pets?
point.
You gotta
Good point.
Have a contingency plan for that. Like you said, Office of Emergency Management, Red Cross, Sheriff's Deputy will be there, emergency management personnel, and Southern California Gas Company, the utility people, public health. So a lot of good resources and a lot of good information will be going on at the Senior Center from 2 to 4 p.m. today in Newhall. So you want to check that out on Market Street. And talking about, do we have time for the next break?
Kyle, do we have time?
have
What
a
do
little
you want
bit
to talk about,
of time.
Kyle? Are we doing a commercial, or we have 1 minute? 1 minute.
Oh, he's giving us a minute. All right.
1 minute.
What are we going to talk about? We'll talk about this crash that happened.
Go ahead. Yeah,
There
you
was-
you did a story on Hometown Station on that.
We
It's
did,
kind of
and-
actually, you know,
was-
I hate doing press releases on stuff like that. It's you know, tragic.
Yeah, there's no other word. A man and a woman, a 65-year-old man and a 26-year-old woman were walking across the street. Information is still preliminary at this point because it's still under investigation by the traffic unit. But the two were crossing near an intersection, but it was late at night, and we have a witness saying that they were wearing dark clothes again, still kind of sussing out what happened. But a Camry reportedly hit these two people, and one man died at the scene, and a woman is in critical condition. Carrie Nay Kennedy is the name of the victim, is 26-year-old, one of the victims who survived, a 26-year-old woman who's in critical care, and we're, thoughts and prayers with her family. But there is a GoFundMe account. There is a story up at Hometown Station. Josh, I know sometimes you guys can't talk because it's an ongoing activation. Is there anything you can say about the incident right now?
You know, this incident happened southbound Sierra Highway, close to Scherzinger. I guess there's another little side street called Mirror, Mirror. But, if you were a witness to this crash or you were in the area and you have any information that would help our investigator, obviously his name is Detective Brooks, 255-1121. Give him a call. He's at the station now. And if he doesn't answer, leave him a voicemail. But we are looking for anybody that may have witnessed
And that's
it.
a good number. If you ever see anything, say something at 661-255-1121. On that, we have to take a quick commercial break on your Neighborhood Watch, brought to you by All American Bail Bonds on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.